Alrighty, all right. How are we doing, everybody? This is Mongo from Mongo's Big Things. Welcome to the channel. We have a great guy down in the chat right now. We have GFan84. Hopefully, you're still in there. Things have been going well enough. I ain't gonna go into the specifics. And it's sometimes it's just a mixed bag. Without going into anything too deeply. But today is a day that I've been looking forward to over the last couple of days this week. And basically, the reason why is because I got a great guest here. Oh, and speaking of like cool people, we got Mr. Storyman Jack. Hope you're doing good, man. And okay, that is great. You hear me? Oh, yes, you understand. No, I was confused because I was just talking with my guest in the back room, before the stream started. I was like, okay, can you hear me good on the microphone? Is it too loud? Is it too soft? Anyhow. Oh, that's great. Yeah. It's a mixed bag. Sometimes it's good with the bad, but anyhow, here's something good because got a great guest today. We're going to chill out. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about a few things here and there. We're going to talk about some fun things because it's always good to talk about fun things. And without further ado, here is Mr. Jay Eccent.
Hey, Mongo. What's your favorite kaiju? Kaiju, Godzilla, King Kong.
Well, I'd have to say my favorite is Godzilla. I'd have to say Godzilla.
Oh, that one's a classic. I tell you what.
What about you, Jay? What's your favorite kaiju?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that one because I have so many, but I really, really like King Kong.
That's great. That's great.
He's my favorite. I tell you what.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of excitement, and it's just around the corner, basically. Godzilla versus Kong, and that's some great stuff. Got G-Fan here, TJ. He's Team Godzilla. Great stuff. Now, folks, if you're not familiar with Jay, he's a really great guy. I have a couple tabs open. Then I will paste a few links into the chat here. If you're unfamiliar with Jay, I think we're all familiar with Jay. Some of us know him very well, others not as much. But I want to say that he is a great dude to get to know. Let me just put this here. Let me see, your JW Eccent. You can hear my keyboard typing skills, folks. I can type about 5 words a minute here, given the circumstances. But let me just type JW Eccent Twitter, and let me paste. Okay, wait. Let me make sure I got the right thing. Okay, got that. I'm going to paste this into the chat and enter. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's the link. You can find him on Twitter right there. And let me make sure I get up your YouTube channel into the chat. You want to see something. You want to see a really diverse imagination, a really eccentric imagination. Check out check out Jay's channel here, Jay Works Productions.
Jay what's funny?
Oh yes.
You know what's funny is you you hit the nail right on that head there when you said eccentric. Because see, Jay Eccent's not my actual name. It's more of a stage name or my pen name, and I use it for fun. And when I first came out with it, it was like JAY, and that's just for the first letter of my name, Josh, and then I put a W for writer. As a right. Obviously.
Oh, that's what that means.
And I liked the word eccentric because not only it mean weird, but it meant different. And I was like, dude, it sounds so interesting. Eccent. So JW Eccent or Jay the eccentric writer. So
Let's see, real quick here. We got the rookie critic. He says, "Hello there, bros. Hello there, bro.
Hey,
Yo, bro."
whoa,
Very good, man.
dude, whoa.
Let's see, G fan. He says, "My wife got a hashtag Team Kong T-shirt. Know a good divorce
Good
lawyer?
divorce lawyer.
Well, now I think we'll get into talking about Godzilla versus Kong in a few minutes here. Maybe a few minutes, a few hours, who knows? We'll find out. We'll figure it out. But we'll definitely talk about that. Hopefully, we'll talk about some predictions because I got a few thoughts about that here and there. But before we get into the real meat and potatoes, I just want to take a moment to share my tab here. I got to navigate because I got my little microphone and it's on the ground, like on my desk, right in front of my monitor. So I got to look around it. It's a little annoying, and I think every day I get a little closer to um, looking up a one of those fancy like arms for like microphone things. Every day I get a little bit closer, and then every day when I look one up, I'm like, I don't really need this. It's
It's
more of a thing, like one of those
getting
convenience
closer.
things. But here's the tab I wanted to share. So here's a good friend, Moira Kitty. Right now, she's going through a bit of a tough spot mentally, and she's raising some funds. So if you want to help her out here, let me just copy the link address for this, and I will put this down in the chat. Moira Kitty's a really great friend. She's been very nice. The more you get to know somebody, the more you get to appreciate them, and the more you want to help them out. And that's basically the case here. The more I've gotten to know Moira, the more I've wanted to help her out in whatever way I can. And so I think this is probably one of the best ways here. Let me see here. Moira Kitty.
I agree. I totally agree. The more I have talked to Moira, the more I realize just how much I like her. She's a very good person, heartwarming person. Excuse me. And I definitely suggest go checking her out, and trying to become a friend and reach out. And that's all I got to say. I mean, she's a very approachable type person. I mean, nothing wrong with her. Real good person.
Let's see. There is the link there down in the chat, the live chat. She's a great person. And even if you're not able to, donate or contribute in a monetary way, even just sharing that stuff out on Twitter, on whatever form of media you feel like sharing it, even just doing that can go a long way. It helps increase the visibility of different things.
Yeah.
But, let's see here. Storyman Jack, Mr. Storyman Jack. This is the biggest thing we can do, like Jay, is create our own art and stories. That's very
exactly
poignant.
Yes.
I really like that.
And the more we get involved with these community type things and create our own things, the more we expand. And if we can expand, then we can expand others' minds to doing the same and going out there, and whether it's voice acting or creating art or creating a story or even just listening, listening to your friends. Because in my opinion, what are friends for if you are there to listen? Sometimes that's all that's needed is a good ear.
Definitely. Let's see here. We got Mr. Bone. We have Cat Bone today.
Oh
Not
my
Dog
God.
Bone. Bone has two different accounts. One with the cat in the little icon and the other with a dog.
He confused me a bit there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Was a
I
little
know, right?
scared.
I miss Moira's streams. She has some fun. It's fun times there. Rookie Critic says, indeed, working on it one tomato at a time. Oh man. So Jay, are you familiar with the Rookie Critic?
Oh, it sounds familiar.
Well, he's a
Maybe.
very cool guy. He's very cool. I'm gonna have to put a link down in the chat because he's been working on this project recently called Tomato Wars. Actually, let me just put his YouTube channel down there. Let's see, the Rookie Critic. Rookie Critic, future feature film director, the Rookie Critic. I hope I said that right. He's really great. He's really great. He's got a lot of things. I was exposed to him. Exposed, you know. I saw him, I don't even know, maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I don't know. Time kind of melds together. It's been a journey.
Times on my side.
Let me see. He's really great. Let me just put his channel here. The Rookie Critic. Rookie Critic YouTube channel. Hopefully you get to hear the sweet sound of my keyboard keys typing there. The Rookie Critic YouTube
So
channel.
satisfying.
So satisfying. Only the
Yes.
best quality content here.
That's right.
Let's see here. There we go. There is his YouTube channel. Check it out, whenever you get the time. He's got a lot of different things. Actually, let me just share the tab so that, the viewing audience can kind of get a taste for the Rookie Critic. They can get a taste of the Rookster, so to speak. So we got the Rookie Critic here. This beautiful little channel there. Let me hide that comment. There we go. Not hide it, but, take it off the screen. Here we go. The Rookie Critic, he's got a lot of things. Among these, he has watch parties. Here is Tomato Wars. Great stuff. Stop motion tomato drama. He has streams with a lot of great YouTubers such as Lady Tario. You have all these other people around here. I think one of the highlights for me, let me just look this up here. You got his playlists here. Lippa dabba do, yabba dabba do.
You kind of won me over with tomatoes and stop motion.
You should definitely check it out. Let's see. Wait, this is not the one I wanted. That's not what I wanted at all. There we go. So he's got these amazing. One of my favorite things to have watched is the Rookie's Quest, and it'd be hard for me to describe it. Basically, he's coordinated these projects where he's coordinated with various people. He's written a script. He's got all these great storylines and just footages, pieces of footage from all these different people on YouTube and online, just contributing to this very interesting little story. I'm not going to go too in depth. I'm giving you not the Wikipedia summary and not even the 5-minute book summary. I'm giving you like a little toothpick sample here, nothing crazy, but
cheesy.
But definitely check out the Rookie Critic. He's a really great guy. I've worked with him here and there. In fact, in the latest episode of the Tomato Wars, I voice Godzilla. In that. And let me tell you, that was kind of tough. It's, granted, I've been ever since I was a little boy, I've been listening to Godzilla. I loved hearing his roar, but recreating that roar can be very tough because, when they made the roar, it was made with wax on an instrument or something like that. And they just run a rubber glove down this special instrument. string instrument, and they to recreate that noise, but it's like that's my impression. But hopefully I did not deafen anybody, because I would hate to deafen anyone. Rip
Oh,
headphone users.
dude. You should definitely, if you can, reproduce the monster from Alika.
You know,
That
that's
little
really
that little low growl that you did was really good. What they'll hear on here, if you decide to do it, what they'll hear on here is not what they'll hear in the show or in the final product.
Real quick here, let me just say we got some other great people down here in the chat. We have the sun god Apollo. Praise the sun god, praise the sun. He is here. Hail
Hey,
Greek mythology,
love Greek mythology.
He is the only Greek god in the fandom menace.
Oh,
And he finds us interesting. Interesting. And
right.
that's an interesting word right there. Interesting. Could it be good? Could it be bad?
Hmm.
You can interpret it either way.
Yeah,
I'll interpret it good.
I prefer being called interesting.
I mean, it's better than uninteresting.
Few names that I could be called, which I have.
Interestingly bad. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'll stick with.
We also got Fanzine Vids. Great dude right there, Fanzine Vids.
Hey, fanzine, sweet.
Let's see here.
You're very exposable, Rook.
Very exposable. Let's see. Storyman Jack, he's saying, I am to the point where I am almost exclusively watching YouTube like I used to watch network TV. Our community, including at the Rookie Critic, are so much more entertaining than mainstream media. That's a glowing endorsement right there. And that's from a guy, Storyman Jack, another great YouTube channel. I had some real fun listening to some of his stuff. Shoo, it's been a while, but man, he's got some great stories that he's made and he's narrated.
Him and AFK Bard are just amazing narrative, if that's a word, geniuses, in my opinion. I think that they have that kind of soothing voice. It might put you to sleep, but not because they're boring, but because they have that soothing sort of type of voice that is good for narration, in my opinion.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Now,
not to single you out, Mongo.
Oh, what?
I said not to single you out, Mongo.
Yeah. Oh, we got Jeremy 5. Jeremy 5, Russia approved, is also in the chat. Hail.
Hail. Jeremy 5.
And man, it's really great seeing all you guys here. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. You guys, I like to say this a lot. You guys help to enhance the streaming experience, not only for me, but hopefully for everyone else who is in the chat and who may watch this stream in the future. That's what I like to think. But whatever.
Yeah. And let me bring up, Storyman Jack, he made a very good point, I guess would be a way of putting it. And earlier today, he had said that he found YouTube to be more entertaining than the regular mainstream media on TV. Mm-hmm. Me and Noel watch all sorts of stuff on YouTube on our widescreen. Every once in a while we go back to like HBO Max because it's got some classic shows like Batman the Animated Series, and we just recently, I recently fell back in love with Babylon 5, but my wife had never seen it, so I'm kind of introducing it to her. And although the CG, hasn't aged well, it still has that good, I want to say like a human factor, it still has that classic what sci-fi was meant to be. even the aliens are more human than the humans are. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But going back to YouTube, today I came across this fan film, and it was Pokemon. What's the name of the Pokemon? If I could remember the name of the Pokemon, I'll remember the name of the fan film. Bennett. Yeah, Bennett's Curse is what it's called. And I watched it, and I bawled my eyes out, you know? And not to get too in depth with it, but let's just say it's a father daughter storyline. So it does hit a little bit for me, being a father. And so that was really well done, really well put together for just a YouTube channel, you know, and stuff like that. So it was really good. But yeah, I love fan films, and there are some times that I miss what YouTube used to be, and how it was just a bunch of goofy people getting on YouTube, getting creative and doing stuff. But then you have all these other people who kind of ride the wagon and try to do the same things that others were doing, which I'll admit I fell in line at one point, and then I decided to kind of say, hey, you know, enough of the random stuff, enough of this, and, you know, it makes me look kind of weird and dorky. Let's try to do some serious fun storytelling and just go off the rails every once in a while, you know.
No, I feel you there. You know that one movie, The Greatest Showman,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. What's that? The Greatest Show, or what's the name of that movie with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, that's Greatest Showman.
Greatest Showman. Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
I always confuse that with the song title. This is the greatest show. But anyway, I like when he is talking. You know, he's in the bar with the guy who he wants to join him in the whole circus thing.
Yeah.
I forget that Zac Efron's character.
Efron. Yeah, I can't remember his name right now. He's actually a combination of two different characters who existed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, molded into one for the film. Yeah.
I like the little song that Hugh Jackman's character, sings. You know, and he's talking about like all these different things he's singing about, and he's like, you could have the standard thing that everyone's seen, in reference to all the music, or all the stage plays and all the stuff that Zac Efron's character had been writing and producing. Or you could take a chance and you could go to the mystical, the unnatural, all the interesting side of entertainment.
Yeah, and not to get religious or anything, but I was at church last Sunday. Finally got to go or whatever, and the sermon was about being different and how the Bible preaches that there's nothing wrong with being different. There were different segments in there, and I turned to Dana, and I said to Dana, who is my youngest, she's 9 years old, and I said to her, she's got ADHD. I said, "Are you getting all this? Do you understand?" And she goes, "Uh huh. I know I'm different, and now I know it's okay to be different." Which, that is actually, without religion or any of that. Put all that aside. Um, these words are very important. Being different is what being human is all about.
That is really poignant. That's a really good lesson to learn, especially at any age. But
Mm-hmm.
having that as a foundation, one of those foundational things that you learn in your youth, that can go a long way. That's
Oh yeah.
something that I really would have benefited from knowing as just growing up. Now I ain't gonna give you guys the whole spiel, the life of and times of Mongo, but I think that's something in general that everyone can benefit from
Right.
knowing and understanding and applying, of course, to their lives.
Yeah. And the thing is, you go way, way back to Shakespeare, and it's Tickle us, shall we not laugh? Prick us, shall we not bleed? Trick us, shall we not revenge? And although I don't like vengeance, I don't believe in vengeance, but it's still very hard hitting. And it's still a very um, good lesson to learn is that, hey, as human beings, black, white, female, it doesn't matter. We all deal differently with something, and we all are different. Some people, I think, have a very hard time accepting that.
Mm. One of the songs in The Greatest Showman, I think, really does help to illustrate and help to bring that home. This Is Me.
Mm.
Wonderful song, wonderfully performed. You know, it's just so many great stuff in
Yeah,
there.
that was my oldest theme when she was 11 and 12. Going through school, she would sing that constantly. You know, because kids are evil sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Teens can be evil sometimes. You know, they'll do vindictive, stupid little things to try and test you or push your buttons. And so she went on to try and sing it, and she sang it constantly and helped her get through it to the point where there was somebody who walked up to her and she put her through the whole rigmarole of, you know what, you're going to call me this and that, and you're going to refer me to this and that from now on because that's what I believe in. And she, in a few choice words that I didn't know about at the time, told her off. And she says, if you're going to act that way around me, you don't need to be I don't need to be your friend. And I was actually naturally very proud of her for standing up for herself instead of standing there and allowing herself to be bullied into accepting a role that she didn't feel comfortable with. And you know, it was that kind of stance that came out of listening to This Is Me, that came out of listening to some of the songs that came out of the Showman, Greatest Showman.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole film is about, you know, being yourself, but not pushing yourself onto others and not allowing others to push themselves onto you, and to not, you know, worry about what other people's standards are or having them, you know, have you live by their standards. That's, in my opinion, what it's all about. The whole film is about being different and making a stance. And I think that that's a good lesson to learn for any age. And I'll tell you now, Mongo, every day is a learning curve for me. Every week is a learning curve for me. Every month, every year. Just because I am an adult doesn't mean that I'm not learning something new.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. I really appreciate hearing that. Let's see here. We got one or two people here. Let me see. We got Mr. The Time Prophet. The Time Prophet is
Yay!
down in the chat here.
Woo!
Very nice to see you. What time is it for you? Is it, because I remember the other day I was streaming and you're saying it was like 1 a.m. Yeah, for those who don't know, the Time Prophet, he hails from Europe, Britain, or England. He is from England, so he is in a totally different time zone. Would love to hear what time it is for you right now. Heck, everybody in the chat, just drop what time it is for you. Right now, for me, Mongo, it is 4:39 in the afternoon.
It's 7:39 p.m. here.
All right, all right.
And you know what? I'm a time traveler.
Yeah.
I'm a time traveler. And I went back to a certain time one day. I decided to go back to pizza time. And I said, you know what time it is? Pizza time. Because every time is macaroni time.
So we have a few times down the chat. So for Storyman Jack, it is 6:39 in the afternoon, I'm assuming. And for the Time Prophet, It is 12:39 a.m. for him. Woof. Honestly, big props. Thank you very much for, being awake and tuning in, because, it's a really nice thing for you to do. I really appreciate it.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
So, since we're talking about things, creativity, all these different topics, I'd like to talk about something that is currently in the works. So, you guys, if you're not aware, Jay, he does a lot of interesting things. Not only is he an artist, let me share the tab here to show his Twitter page here. Jay Eccent. Alrighty, here we go. This is Jay's Twitter. He is the raccoon kaiju.
I did that for fun, and I tried to stick to it. I couldn't, because you join all these social media. Sometimes you'll come up with your own persona, stuff like that. I was like, I'll try to do the raccoon kaiju, because also I know that Mongo's love for kaijus. I just got to do that. So I thought he'd get a kick out of it. That's what came out of it. If you notice too, though, the raccoon that's rampaging through the town so lazily, and the little icon there has a shirt that says Gina Carano on
it. So, guys, if you don't know Jay, he does some amazing commission work. He is a great artist. Let's just take a look at this little pinned tweet here that he has. And this is a wonderful piece of art here of King Kong. And this was a piece of art that I commissioned from Jay. It was very great. I really do appreciate the amount of work that he put into this. And he makes this stuff look easy, folks. I am not exactly an artiste, but he did a bang up job with this. He did amazing.
King Kong did a bang up job, better than I did.
So let's just oh yeah. So go on.
There's a few things I would have changed with that one, looking back on it and the building and stuff, but it is one of my favorite works, mainly because I've heard so much from you, and when the customer likes it, I like it, and it brings a lot of joy to me to be able to do those things for other people if they like it, if they're happy about it, and it doesn't matter what their political views or anything like that. I'll do business with you. I mean, I'll be civil. You want something done, I'll do it. And somebody on Twitter brought that up. He's an artist, and I can't quite remember who it was I was talking to about this, but he said that more often than not, people want to make a big stink about other people's opinions instead of doing business with them and making artwork. And, my passion is making artwork. My passion is creating. My passion is to entertain and put a smile on other people's faces. It's not to bash people for what they like or what they don't like.
Oh, so real quick, Storyman Jackie's saying that I should share the pics that you did for House of Cain. Do you have that on your Facebook? I wouldn't share your Facebook page, but I'd share some of the images of that.
You know what? You can go ahead and check out my Facebook. Yeah. I don't mind that.
I will browse that on a different tab, not right here.
Oh, right okay.
Now. But not on this screen right now. But I will look that up, because I think you posted one or two of those. They looked really nice too. And I'm not just saying that, folks. I'm not just saying that because, I want to make sure Jay comes back on the channel or whatever,
If you want to,
I'm saying it because I mean it,
If you want to check out my Facebook, though, there is a page specifically for my artwork. My wife does crochet on there every once in a while and does her own little artworks and pics and stuff. And she does graphic design, and she does these little skulls that are really neat and have all sorts of designs on them. And she's working on future projects, but right now she's her commissions are closed for now, so she could catch up on some other work. So, anyways, the way you get to that is you go to Facebook and you type in Accent Art, and that's space
Oh, let me do
between.
that. Accent art. One space in between.
Yes, one space in between Accent and Art, and that's ECCENT
I found it.
ART.
Perfect. Okay, let me do that then. That'll be a lot more convenient. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like some of these. This one. Okay, you guys can't see it, but I'm seeing one of these things that you did here, Jay.
Why are you
Looks
looking at
really
dirty
nice.
pictures, man?
Well, I'm, I don't know what kind of pictures you're putting on your
Ooh
art
la
channel
la!
here. I don't your art
Ooh la
page here. I
la!
don't know. Okay, let me
Ooh la
see here. Let
la!
me see. So
Doc! Ooh la
I'm gonna
la!
let me share this other tab here. Let me see here. Share Chrome tab. Let's see, Facebook Accent Art. So, folks, this is Accent Art on Facebook. Very easy to find, and that's a great thing there. It's a great thing.
And I'll tell you why that's my favorite banner. All it was a collage, and I worked with Noel on two different fonts to create that Accent 3D art. It was Accent art in the middle there, and I went to a Staples shop, and they printed it out on a banner so that we could take it to the local convention we have here. It's called the Kokomo Con, and we had a booth and we were selling art at the time. But it was a brilliant, brilliant banner to look at. I'd never seen anything like it. It was so bright, and it caught your eye right away.
So it says shop now, artpal.com. Is that does that work? Does that work? Oh,
I
wow. That's interesting. I'm a noob when it comes to Facebook, but it was really cool. I opened it up on a new tab. But
huh,
wow, this is cool, Jay. Oh my goodness, there's so many cool things you did. So many more things. Wow, I like these. I like
I'm
these.
the one that runs that page, and I haven't done it. I haven't updated it yet.
we haven't actually updated it
Mm.
too much. I did post the Alika trailer on it because,
Yes.
see, for me, artwork comes in all forms. Whether you're quilting or sewing or drawing or acting, voice acting, or just creating something can be a work of art. Even the human body can be a work of art, in my opinion.
Mhm. Let's see here. So right now, I got on the screen. Let's see. This is something you did for. This is an artwork. January 23rd. I hereby give permission to Judy Doyle to use my commissioned artwork for her book, Casey's Redemption. I just saw this, and this was the picture where I was like, "Whoa, that looks really awesome."
She she
Looks
got
really
back
cool.
to
I
me,
like
right?
that.
She
Yeah.
looked over it and she said, at first she thought the character was naked. And I said,
Naked.
oh, wait, no. And she said, well, her son looked over it and he said, no, 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 no. That looks more like a silhouette than someone naked. Although she might be naked, I don't know. It's just it's just meant to be sort of because it's a redemption story. She's kind of shedding her skin, so to speak, going from one life to another.
All right. So, okay, I have another tab opened. I think this is one of the pieces of art that you did for House of Cain. Let me make sure I got this. Okay. Do share
House of Cain's a
screen.
really good story, by the way. I like that.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Is this one of the things that you're doing for House of Cain?
That was one of the pictures. Well, see, now he didn't ask me to do that. I just felt that the original artwork that I did for him that he asked me to do wasn't up to par. And that was just from my standpoint, from my point of view. And so I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to do one of my favorite characters from his story, and that's Kitsune right there. I probably shouldn't have said anything. Dang it. Spoiler alert out there. No. Oh, sorry, story man. Oh,
well, let me. Oh, well, let me see. There we go. I saw this icon in the corner. It said "exit full screen." Didn't really do anything. Didn't. It just made it. Well, I was thinking it would make the image bigger, but it just did not do anything.
It kind of did.
Kind of did, yeah. Okay. But
in and out. I mean, if that's what you want to do.
I mean, I was blown away, and I let Jay know about this earlier when I first saw this picture. But I was blown away by just the style. The art style was amazing here. I love, it reminded me of like that kind of those type of Oriental type, Silk Road kind of portrait things that they do, and I just loved seeing this.
And that's what I was kind of going for that character. Is a lot of the descriptions that he said was very Oriental in form.
Oh, Storyman Jack says it's okay. Yeah, it's been out for a while.
I know, but I don't know. I'm a little self-conscious sometimes.
No, it's all good. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
So speaking of Storyman Jack, there's another project on the way.
Oh.
Storyman Jack, Mongo's Big Things, Jay Eccent, worked on a story called Alika, Hard Knocks.
Yes.
Now, this story, Alika Hard Knocks, is about this shape-shifting creature who's escaped the underground facility under Fort Knox in Kentucky. And this agent Jordan, he has to find this creature before time runs out. And a lot of my ideas I got from Mongo, I got from Storyman Jack. So I'm giving credit to them. My wife helped out whenever I had some writer's block. So she's being credited, Noelle Lon Ashcraft. And and we got some music talent in there. Jay Alpha. And he's got a group and some great vocal talent too. So I wanted to bring up the acting in this, the acting talents. So we have Mongo's Big Things. He's playing multiple characters. Okay, I don't want to get into too much, but one of the main characters is a Rod Serling type. He plays Anno, who's this islander. Where the island is, that's a mystery. And so basically you're taken on a journey to where you walk into this bar-like place, and he tells you the tale and you enter the tale. So then we move on to Trillian Anderson. Trillian Anderson's acted in a few things here and there. She's a voice actress, and she plays the part of Noelle Barrett. And this is what they call the Road Hogs, which is a biker gang. And then I play a couple of characters. I play Jordan, and I play Jake. And then we got Dennis Collins Jr. Now, Dennis Collins Jr. is a very, very talented guy. Definitely check him out. He's got a YouTube channel, although I don't know if he has it anymore, but he has a YouTube channel or he had one, and it was called it was called Starcraft Zergling altogether, based on the game. Yes, but he was always down on himself, and I always said to him, I said, you got a good voice for acting, narrating, or whatever. And there's a audio drama out there me and him did called Shadow Noir, where he plays a detective, and he's going after these shadow creatures, and it's done in the style of like back in the 40s. So then we got Ty Anderson, who is a veteran in the voice acting community. He is so professional, so good. He played Ice Cream Carl in Fallout 4. I don't know if you know of that character or
Ice
not.
Cream Carl. I
Yes.
might have to look that up. I played a lot of Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4, correct? Fallout
yes.
4.
He played Ice Cream Carl. It is an add-on. But he takes on the sort of, if you've ever seen Police Academy, takes on the guy.
Oh, yes. I love that guy.
Takes on that voice. And he's always chasing after this old lady or something. I can't remember her name, but Ice Cream Carl. And he's done some Mass Effect vocals and some other stuff in here and there, and he's done stuff online. He's a great guy. Sir Talks a Lot is involved in this.
Oh.
Yes. The one, the only Sir Talks a Lot. And we have Owen Sadek, who has done some stuff here and there. And then simply Aifee. I'm not sure if it's Aifee or A-I-F-E. But she plays a character called Bobby Joe. The one character that I play is Jake. And Jake and Bobby Joe are slightly based off of characters from Evil Dead 2. And I don't know if you know these two characters, but they're the hillbillies they come across.
Oh, okay.
Hey, he's the one that's shouting out of the cabin going, Bobby Joe! Bobby Joe! Where are you, girl? Oh, Bobby Joe! And I, even to a degree, at the very end, I added that where I'm just screaming Bobby Joe. But we got that, and I'm putting together editing and some sound effects. So yeah, it's gonna be a good project, and I'm actually very excited for this one to get done. A project that is coming out that I'm looking forward to. I've left to my editor, and so that she can get everything together. She's had some issues in her life that's kind of set back, and the story for that one is called A Little Red. And what that one is it's a dark version of A Little Red Riding Hood. And it's about this teenager who gets lost in the woods with a serial killer who is like hiding out in the woods. And the serial killer is played by Dennis Collins Jr. So I've been waiting for almost a year to get that together. So we'll look for that, hopefully. A Little Red.
Now, Jay, do you mind if I share if we watch the trailer that you had out for Alika Hard Knocks?
Oh, go right ahead. Yes.
All righty. I got already put the link for that down in the chat. We kind of look.
Do a live reaction. Let's do a live reaction.
Live reaction.
Neither one of us has seen it before, okay? Put that in.
All right. Now, the other day, showed this. Let me make sure I share audio. Okay. That's always important. Sometimes when you share things on your screen for StreamYards, they got this little box down in the left-hand corner where it's like share audio. A lot of people forget that. Sometimes I forget that, but I think I got it. Yeah, I do got it. All right.
Remember, Scoob, sharing is caring.
All righty, let's take a look at this here. We got Alika Hard Knocks.
Bobby Joe, what's your favorite kaiju? Kaiju? Godzilla? King Kong?
All new from Jay Works.
It's good to have you, sir. Come right in, traveler.
And what's your story? Why are you jittery? And what in God's name is wrong with you?
Starring Mongo's Big Theme.
Oh, yeah! The dark tale, my friend.
I do have an uncle called Mongo Huber who's into that sort of thing. But he lives in SoCal. Him and some guy named Jay tried to get me into it. But if I had to pick one, it'd have to be those Cyclops things from that movie.
Sir, Alika will be destroyed. Kill brother activated.
The talented vocal cast.
It just got bigger.
I will permit this, Agent. Get him to divulge as much as you can. Gain his trust, and we can quietly bring him in. Beat feet.
What are you, anyway, John Carpenter?
Isn't this Alika?
Alika Hard Knocks.
One thing about this project is there's a little bit in it that everybody I think would like. You know, it's got some kaiju fan service going here. It's got some horror aspects in it, and you know, some sci-fi, all in all. But you know, wrapped up in a nice, tight little, like, just original story bow.
Mm-hmm. So, a quick question here. So, there was this one part of the little trailer where one of the ladies was saying, "Oh, favorite kaiju," and she mentions the Cyclopses. Now, is that a reference to the Cyclopses from Sinbad?
Yes.
Yes.
It is. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. And
I love those movies. So
and
much.
you know, the title of the film is put in there. She's with Jake. Okay, and let me explain the same. With it starts out with like, "What's your favorite kaiju? Hey, Bobby Joe, what's your favorite kaiju?" You know, and the whole scene is basically she's frustrated with him because she wants some alone time with him, and all he can discuss is monsters. And so, you know, he's like, "What's with all the kaiju talk?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know if you noticed or not, but Noel's acting kind of funny." And then I won't go into any deeper than that, but you know, you get the idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the movie right there. That's the movie that I bring up in there. And one of the reasons why I brought it up was I thought, man, I think Mongo would appreciate that.
Oh, totally. Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, the Golden Voyage, or Golden Voyage, or Sinbad's Golden Voyage, or whatever. Sinbad, Eye of the Tiger. Those three movies that really featured the Harryhausen effects. I got all three of those on DVD. I love those so much. These Cyclopses are iconic. I'd say almost every creation of Ray Harryhausen is iconic. But man,
my favorite out of Ray Harryhausen is the big squid. I can't remember what movie it was.
Yes. It came from
yes.
It came from beneath. Oh, let me see. What was it? It came from beneath.
It came from that wet place.
Came from that wet place. Ah, here it is. It came from beneath the sea. Here's a good image here. Here's a colorized image.
My favorite. Because
oh my gosh, yeah.
You got to look back at that time too. Perspective was such a big thing. and it works in old film like that. And black and white works to hide a lot of things. That's coloration or whatever. But if you look at the old black and white ones, it's sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it's hard to discern what they've done. You know, that's why I like The Invisible Man so much. Is you can't always see how they did certain things when he's taking the bandages off.
Time Prophet brings up a great one, The Valley of Guanji.
Guanji!
Love this movie so much as a kid, still love it now. Oh, such a great movie. Cowboys and dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It was amazing for me as a child because as a kid, my family would take me to Walmart a lot. You know, we would get some toys every now and then. They would be the cheaper toys. So, you know, box of Army Men, or a bag of Army Men, or a bag of Cowboys and Indians, and those, you know, those little cheap rinky-dink dinosaur toys. They went perfectly together. And I was at that wonderful age when playing with toys was basically making a movie for yourself. And after seeing Valley of Guanji, it was like, oh, yeah, totally, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. The Ray Harryhausen elephant.
Stop motion stuff sometime too, you know, just checking it out. I know my kid can do some pretty cool stuff on her phone. Surprises me. My 9-year-old animates some of her stuff. That.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And Taylor, she does a lot of stuff on her phone. Oh my gosh, my oldest, I can't tell you enough how good an artist she is. I just got to get her to focus more because I've tried to test her, you know. I've asked her, hey, can you draw me this and this? And I said, I need it by Friday or whatever, just to see if she'd be good with commissions, you know. Until she gets up to that point, I don't want to advertise her too much or anything, you know. But I do like show off some of her work, and she is really good, but more for, I think, digital work than, you know, the traditional.
That's really cool. Let me see. Now, my sister, I have two older sisters. The younger of the two, she's really into art. And it's kind of been one of her things that she's loved doing pretty much from a young age. And she's always been doing that. And she's really been interested. She's been looking into just kind of various things, whether it's been making prints, you know, selling prints on Etsy. And I'm always like, oh yeah, you know, check this out, you know, yada, yada, yada. I showed her like that Star Wars girl, Anna. I'm like, yeah, you know, she does this kind of stuff too. And she's really into that kind of art thing. And it was really nice. About a week or two ago, because we had a funeral down at my place, and everybody came in to go to that. But I was able to talk with her, and she was like, yeah, you know, I'm making this little icon for you. I'm like, whoa, yeah, totally, would love that. But she's really, she's got a great husband, and her husband got her an iPad or something similar to an iPad where she does a lot of like drawing with, like, you know, those little pen styluses. And
oh, it's one of those things you put your eye on it.
iPad. Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Totally random here, but have you ever seen the movie EGA? EEGAH. EGA. 1962. I love this movie so much. Partially because well, probably the best actor in it is Richard Kiel, who is, you know, big giant of a man, you know. He was Jaws in
yes, Kiel.
the James Bond movies. Let me look up some images here. So let me give you a rundown, a basic synopsis. Like it's a good poster image here of Igor. Oh man, I love this movie so much. It's a simple thing. I watched it one night when I was watching, Elvira, and here's a lovely poster here. Let me see. Yeah, lovely poster. Igor, the crazed love of a prehistoric giant for a ravishing teenage girl. So basically, Richard Kiel, he plays a caveman who survives from the Paleolithic era all the way to the modern era, off of some magic cave water, I guess. And basically, he finds this pretty lady, and he's like, "Me like lady, me take lady." And then you have our our hero of the movie, quote unquote hero, who's probably an average sized person, but is just utterly dwarfed by Richard Kiel. And the lady shaves Richard Kiel's face, and here's Egon his glory. Just a very kind of a random movie. But such a pleasure, just such a treat to watch this movie.
Fun. I'd definitely get into watching that. Oh my gosh, hey, there you go. MSD3K popped up.
Yes, they riff this movie. It's great. Something that I love is I feel like all the actors were cast partially because they're a little shorter. You see this little dune buggy they have. Well, this little buggy is just puny next to Igor. Like, look at this. Like, he's like, here's a little picture. Just he dwarfs this car.
He's a big guy. He was a big guy anyway.
Yeah, he was Paul Bunyan in like a little Canadian children's show, I think. And I'm like, well, that makes sense, And of course, I always loved him in Happy Gilmore. He's like, and you can bet on me waiting for you in the parking lot, all that kind of stuff. Those scenes of him were just.
And there's a guy, and I haven't seen him in a while. His name is Brandon Hardesty, but for a while on YouTube, he was doing a show called No Small Parts, where he would narrate about character actors who would come in and just do a role real quick, and then he'd talk about their history and where they were born and other parts they played until they passed away. And it was a really neat show. It's called No Small Parts. Really, really good. In fact, I think there was even an episode where he talked about Mr. Rogers and the fact that he had a small acting career outside of just Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing his channel right now. It's really nice. I like a lot of this. He's got Richard Kiel, Harold Sakata, who was Odd Job from I forget which James Bond movie, but yeah, that's great. I'm definitely gonna have to check this out. It's really
a lot of good actors he talked about, and he got into some legal issues like way back because of the title. He was I can't remember if he had to change the name somewhere down the line or something, but it was even on an IMDb page and some other things. And he used to do a lot of like skits and funny, goofy stuff. Where back in the day, he would mimic a scene from a movie, but he'd do it so perfectly sometimes, and he'd do it really well, even though he had like stupid little things in the scene, like mops or whatever for props. Like he was playing the Joker in one, and he actually got the guy from at least I think it was Batman. I think it was Batman or something like that. And he had the actual actor who portrayed Alfalfa in Little Rascals movie. And he came on and played a part in that or something. And it was funny because here he is as the Joker, and he's got this squirt gun or Nerf gun or something. It's not an actual gun. It's just a squirt gun. You can see it is. But, he's talking like Jack Nicholson's character, and he's doing it really well. He did Grandpa Joe in one from Willy Wonka. But, like, the further back you go, the more weird and just funny some of his stuff was, like, way back in the day. But I always loved it when people did original skits. I'll sit down and just laugh at some of the stupid stuff they did, which stupid in a good way, not like, oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's that again, but you know what I mean.
Quick shout out to Soul Assassin. He says howdy to the both of us.
Hey there, Soul Assassin.
Great seeing you there. Apparently, Richard Keel was also in a few episodes of Kolchak. I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, dude, you would love Kolchak the Night Stalker. That was a good show. Like, he would dig in. Okay, so this is a reporter that doesn't want to report on normal stuff. He wants to go out and he wants to do articles on werewolves, vampires, aliens, that kind of stuff. Bigfoot on a ship. It was really fun stuff. And it stars the guy from Christmas Story. Stars the guy.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And
that's great.
It's a fun show, dude. It's a fun show, and it's funny, and it's got the typical boss who's like overweight and sweating. He's like, Kolchak, you get back here! You get back here right now!
Wow, I totally gotta check that out. I see a few pictures of Richard Keel here.
Yep.
That is great.
And the sad thing about it is it only lasted. It only lasted like a few episodes, but it was so good, so good. And then you had the guy, the one guy from MASH. I can't think of his name right now. Trying to think of it. He always dressed it. He would put on dresses and stuff. What was his name? I can't remember. Played Klanger. Whose line is it anyway? Returns are a good watch. Yes, I love that. Love that show. I love back in the day, Drew Carey and all of them, and they brought on Robin Williams for one, which was really funny, and Richard Simmons. And they just went along with whatever they're doing, did very well, just in a spry in the moment. But yeah, it's great. I love classic shows like that, going back and watching them, and just going back through some of my childhood is really good. And some of my kids get into some of the things that I liked when I was younger too. All right, I mean I don't know if you heard my wife correcting me on my grammar there, but yeah, some of the shows my kids get into some of the shows that I watched when I was younger too, like Batman the Animated Series.
Oh yeah,
and I enjoy going back and watching that. But I don't know if you know this or not. Have you ever seen the show Night Court?
I have not.
Oh, it's good classic comedy show. Now, the guy who played the bailiff in there, he was a big, tall guy. And if you remember the character Two-Faced, Harvey Dent, now the one that played the bailiff actually voiced Harvey Dent / Two-Face in the animated show.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. And somebody approached me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Somebody approached me and they said, how would you like to be in my Batman my Batman thing that I'm doing. It's called Rogues Gallery, based on a comic series. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll try out for a few parts. I tried out for the Joker. Oh, we'll make an event of it. We'll explode the town in a joyful parade. That was that. And I tried a few others. I tried Batman. He was like, hey, can you read for Two-Face? And I was like, well, yeah, you could. But there's only one problem with that. You're talking to the wrong Harvey. And I talked out the side of my face. He's like, you got it. So I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, is there any way you can make it nasty? I was like, in what terms? Can you make it sound really disgusting when you talk? And I was like, I could chew on an apple while I say it and have a bunch of apple pieces in the side of my cheek. And so that's what I did. I chewed on a piece of apple, and it would sound really disgusting. And it would sound like I was breathing on the side of my mouth. And there's some ASMR here for you. But it got so disgusting that after a while I had to take my spit filter or my pop filter off of my bike because it got so gross with all these chunks of chewed up apple all over it. I was like, yeah. He comes back to me after I'm done with my lines like a week or two later. He's like, hey, can you read for some more lines? I was like, oh, gosh.
Now, I recall, I know I've asked you this question before on one of the last times we've talked a lot on this channel, but I really enjoy hearing the story there. But for you, at least based on the Batman the Animated Series, we'll kind of keep it contained to there. Obviously, if you like a character from the comics or from movies, it's fine for that to kind of influence you. But do you have, or who is your favorite villain from Batman the Animated Series, or Batman in general, I guess?
Okay, so you're asking me, or you're asking?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yeah.
Who's asking? Okay. I like Clayface. Clayface has always been my favorite villain, just because. Well, I mean, there's three factors. One, there's the human factor of this guy. Okay. He was a good actor. He wanted to act. He wanted to do all that. And then along the lines, you have these mob bosses and these villains. It's got them addicted to this cream stuff that you put on your face, and it's supposed to help you to smoothen out and make you look young again. And he wants to keep his youth, basically. So he gets addicted to this stuff like it's drugs. It goes back to him acting like he's coming off of a drug when he doesn't get it right away. To the point where he's shoving his stand-in around. He's just shoving him around, yelling at him, and he's like his friend, Which is the same way that people who are drug addicts react to other people, thinking that they don't care. And it really is a sad predicament. And I've kind of been in those situations where people reacted poorly to drugs and stuff. And I think it was a very realistic way to approach it, but in a fantasy sort of way. You felt for the character in some way, but you knew he was villainous because, well, he killed, and he did everything he could to do it, to the point where there were later episodes where he was actually smothering Batman inside his body. And it
Mm-hmm.
always, to this day, creeps the crap out of me. Because here's Batman's face sticking out of this slimy thing's stomach. You know? And
Mm-hmm.
another thing that I liked about Clayface is, you know, his arms changing to different weapons or whatnot. And then you got the face, of course, that changes to the different characters that he's played. So yeah, Clayface has just always been my favorite. I like Two-Face. I like Two-Face a lot because for him it dealt a lot with mental disability, seeing a therapist, you know, not wanting to hide that, but in the end it still comes out and he's full of anger and all this stuff and fear and how that grips you and how it can change you as a person. It's so cool to watch an animated show that is able to do that an adult can enjoy just as much as a child can.
That is great. That is great. Yeah, really well said. Really well said right there.
Thanks. So
oh yes.
let me
Yeah.
ask you a question real quick.
Uh-huh.
What, when you watched Alita, Battle Angel, what was your favorite scene in that?
Ooh, I'm glad you asked. Let me share my tab here. I've had this sitting around since, well, you know, I try to prep a little bit before the stream. So I had a tab open for Alita Battle Angel. So just a bit of background here, folks. I never saw this movie when it came out in 2019. And, you know, funny thing, I understand that it's coming up on its 2-year anniversary on Sunday, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, huh, funny how these things work. But yeah, I had never seen this movie when it came out. I never saw it in theaters. Mostly just because, you know, I just wasn't really familiar with the property. I'd never seen Alita Battle Angel. Here's her eating some chocolate. Chocolate. Yep. And so probably, I guess maybe a few months ago, I had seen it on one of the channels, one of the TV channels, and I had tuned in to a bit of it. I'd probably watched maybe 40, 45 minutes of it. And I'd seen a bit of the beginning, pretty much a little snippet of the middle, and then about a half hour of the end of the movie. And I was thinking, man, this is really good. And, you know, in preparation for, you know, this little stream, I rented it the other day and watched it the whole way through. And I thought it was a really great movie. There's a lot of fun to be had in that movie.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, man. But my favorite scene. Oh.
I put you on the spot there, didn't I?
Let me see. Let me look up the cast here so I kind of get the names cast. All righty, let me see here. I liked, so let me just say I like some of the bad guys in this.
Oh yeah.
Ed Screen, he does great as Zapan. I love his introduction where it's Hugo and he's telling Alita, like, yeah, you see him? He's a hunter killer. Or a hunter. What's the name of the. What was that? Hello? Oh. What's the name of those? Are they called hunter killers or?
Yes, they're hunter killers. Yeah.
Hunter killers. I like that little introduction of like, yeah, he's scanning for his hit, for his hunter, his prey. I'm like, that was really cool. He's just walking around with his sword, just looking around. I think the effects in this movie were great. I liked Gruishka, big chungus android. Well,
Little
android
flea.
cyborg. Little flea. let me pull up an image of him. Gruishka. I like that name too. It's very, very cool sounding. I like his You know, obviously you have his little introduction, which was very cool. Let me see. Oh, goodness. I think probably my favorite scene is when Alita registers to become a hunter killer, and then she goes to their little bar and she talks. You know, she tries to convince these guys, hey, you know, Gruishka is gaming the system. You know, he's being supported by the higher ups, that kind of stuff. And Zapan is like, pooh, you know, kind of, you know, he's trying to put the moves on her slightly. He's like, oh, you know, oh, you think you're one of us, and all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, how about if I pull your arms off and your legs, and then I cut off your head and kick it down the road? And then she's just laughing at him. She's like, and then he tries to grab her, and she just goes, boom, and he puts his head through a table. And that whole scene, I love that.
And I love
That's
the leg
probably my
kick he
favorite.
has in that scene too, by the way. The leg
yeah.
kick is really good.
Yeah.
I think right there, you know, and even in this scene, you can tell she's starting to change and start her journey towards a different area of her character. Sadly, when a certain character dies in this scene, I'm not going to reveal who what it is, but rather than sit a corner and pout, she gets up and she about ready to lay the smack down on this guy. You know?
Yeah.
So it just kind of lays the way for more, paves the way for more to come.
Let me just say, I really do enjoy Dr. Ito's
yes.
hammer, his weapon, the pike, you know, the
that
groundbreaking hammer.
Awesome.
I love that. I'm like, it reminds me of the power hammers of the super sledges from Fallout.
Yeah. I gotta tell you
like,
a story. I gotta tell you a story. There's a guy I'd been seeing for therapy, and I wore my mask to therapy, and it had an Alita Army in one corner, and Alita Battle Angel or Alita #Alita sequel in the other corner. And I went and, you know, he asked me about it the first time. I came back and I asked, well, have you seen it yet? No, not yet. I just don't see how you can take years of manga and shove it down into one movie. I said, well, they did. And so the next time I came, I said, have you seen it yet? He goes, not yet, but I do have one question. Does the film have that really sweet hammer thing that Dr. Ito had in the friggin' manga? I said, yes, it does. He goes, you've convinced me.
Yeah.
I went home and I was like, score another one for the Alita Army.
Yeah. I think it was such a cool setting too. I'm not familiar with Alita, but like just watching it and just seeing like all this crazy stuff, like these cyborgs were just nuts. Here's a few of their designs. Like this chick was insane. I love the guys who, you know, obviously there's Gruishka. He's the only giant Chungus cyborg with a name, really. I'm like, oh, dude. And then like just some scenes where you have like these just big, huge, monstrous things like Juggernaut and all these. I'm like, dude, I want to be a giant tank of a cyborg. Like, it was just so fun, so creative too.
Gruishka's a giant chunk.
Yeah, that's what I was, and like, you know, like obviously we won't go too much, but the scene, you know, after she confronts Zapan and tries to convince everybody, and then Gruishka enters, just done. I'm like, here comes Chungus. He's got an upgrade. He's beefed up. I love him, and he's just like, little flea.
Can you?
Let's play, little flea.
Now that we have brought up this, can you type into that search Big Chungus?
Okay, yeah. And we owe it to our audience. We owe it to our audience to show Big Chungus.
Yes, exactly. We shall grace them. We shall bless them with Big Chungus.
And here is Big Chungus himself. Georgian, I love Looney Tunes. I love Looney Tunes so much. This is one of those Looney Tunes cartoons. This was back when Elmer Fudd was a little shapely. And so, you know, he tries to board up Bugs' little rabbit hole, and he's like, I can't do an Elmer Fudd impression, but he's like, that'll get him. He'll never get out of there.
That'll get him. He'll never get out of there.
And, you know, Bugs, obviously.
Bugs starts mimicking him.
Yeah. Bugs gets out of the hole, and he's like, yeah, he mimics him. He's like, yeah. It's a really funny little Looney Tunes thing, too.
Do you know the story behind why it's called Big Chungus?
I do not.
Okay, so you see that PS4 picture there?
Ah, yes.
All right, so there was a teenager who printed off the picture of Bugs Bunny, just like that, and put all the labels on it for PS4. Then he put it in a little PS4 case. And he said, Mom, I've got a receipt here for Big Chungus, and I don't have the disc for it. Can you take this to GameStop and ask about it? And so she does. She goes to GameStop, and she's looking for it. She can't find it, so she goes to the owner. And the owner's like, is this a joke? And he starts laughing at her face. And she goes, no, do you have the game or not? He says, ma'am, Big Chungus means fat butthole.
Oh.
And so now you had all the memes come out after that involving Bugs Bunny being a big chungus.
Oh, here's a lovely one. Small chungus, big chungus, huge chungus, mega chungus.
Oh no, it's just another word for kaiju. Kaiju bunny big chungus. Oh my God.
Now, let me tell you, back to the Alita stuff. So first I gotta say, I thought it was funny. Michelle Rodriguez was in that movie as Alita's thing. I won't say what, but she's in the movie. And I was like, whoa. It's like, I could see her. I could kind of make out the face, but her voice, when I heard it, I was like, is that Michelle Rodriguez? And of course, I look it up and it's like, oh, it is. I'm like, oh.
And you know, it's funny, Michael Rodriguez, but they're not related. No, I like to do trailer voices and stuff, and when I hear Michael Rodriguez or Michelle Rodriguez, I come in and I'll say something like,
Machete will return in Machete Kills with Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh my gosh, but
a Michael Rodriguez film.
I thought it was very funny. Let me just pull up the cast real quick. One of the actors, let me make sure I get the name right. Jeff Fahey. He's McTeague. He has all these. He's one of these hunter killers. He was in the movie Machete.
Yes, he was. He's a very talented, funny guy, and he's been all over like character actor sort of thing. I love that dude. I wish that he could play that character a lot more than what he did in Alita. I really loved that character in the dogs. Like that was really a good touch.
Yeah, that I will say, if there was one thing that I would say that I'd like more of, I would have liked a little more of his character, McTeague.
Mhm.
Obviously, he just joins
Yeah.
in and he's, something happens and he's like, he hates dogs. I cannot stand that kind of person. I'm like, okay, well, that's nice. And then he's done. I'm like, okay, well, all right.
That
It
man,
was cool. He had
no.
like these things. He had these cool dogs, the hellhounds. I was like, oh, sweet.
Yeah, you know what's funny about it is that they made him out to be like he was going to be some main presence. He's sitting there like laughing it up and everything, and they make it out like he's going to be a part of the rest of the story. Nope.
that man's not a dog lover. I don't want that sort of thing.
Let's see. I think the movie was great. Just to summarize my feelings on Alita Battle Angel, I think it's a great movie. You have a great cast of characters. They all fill their role very well. Just to kind of, let me just see here. Alita Battle Angel cast. Jennifer Connelly was great. Christoph Waltz, amazing. I really gotta say it was all great. Again, I love Zapan. Ed Screen is Zapan,
And Ali,
gosh.
Ali in that film.
Hmm.
Man, when I first saw him, do you know who I thought it was?
Who?
I swear, the first time I watched it, because I didn't pay attention to the credits right away.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it was the guy from Blade,
Wesley Snipes.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Wesley Snipes' son or something. He looks like freaking Wesley Snipes.
He does.
He looks like he's related to him. And I thought, man, if they ever get off of their lazy butts to do another sequel, or at the very least, reboot it if they want or whatever, get him. He could fight. I think he really could.
Oh my gosh, that was Ed Norton. Ed Norton was Nova?
Yeah,
Holy
right.
cow, I never would have guessed. That's
he
amazing.
Has such a small part in that film. Huh. He really did. Have you ever heard though that he's hard to work with?
I have heard about that. I heard that kind of contributed to him getting recast after The Incredible Hulk, that movie, and being recast to Mark Ruffalo, among other things, But I'm like, wow, I thought he did a great job in The Incredible Hulk. I love that movie, but anyhow,
I love that one too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you had
the other one, even though the actor in Hulk, all the actors in Hulk were very good people.
Yeah.
I have nothing against the actors. What I didn't like was the overabundance of CGI, which, yes, you can find that in The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
Yeah.
But the thing about that one is it implemented both comic book realm and the TV show with Lou Ferrigno. It implemented both stuff into it in order to make its own story, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot.
Let's see here, 2008. Wow, that was 2008. It came out the same year, I think, as Iron Man, right? Incredible. It might have been a year after. I don't know. Wait, let me see here. The Incredible Hulk, 2008. I guess it wouldn't have that in the Wikipedia page, but gosh, I really enjoyed that movie. There are some things like going back and revisiting it where I'm like, okay, I feel like I love Liv Tyler. Liv Tyler is great, obviously. She's done a lot of great movies. I think she's a little, I don't know. She seems a little funny to me. She's like, Bruce. Yeah, I I did a little review on that, a little video way back when I was first starting up YouTube, where I kind of talk about that. It was like a 25-minute video where so I'm like, holy cow, that's a slog to go through. Lighting was all yellow just because I was using a laptop camera, a camera built into the laptop. But there's a lot of things that I love about that movie. I think Liv Tyler's character, Betty Ross, could have been a little better. They could have improved it a little bit, maybe made a few little tweaks to it, but I thought it was a great movie.
Oh yeah,
Abomination was great villain, great evolution to his character in that movie. It's like, okay, we set up these little things here, like, hey, Emil Blonsky, he's got these certain personality traits. He wants to be the best. He wants to be the alpha predator. We introduce Hulk, who is basically better in every way. Blonsky's like, okay, I got to get stronger. And then he gets some little things here and there. And then he's like, I want to be better than him. You know, all these kind of things. But, man, just great stuff. Anyhow, I'm going on a tangent here.
But I mean, like, going back to Liv Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
I love Liv Tyler, but my favorite thing is Lord of the Rings, of course.
Oh, certainly.
And going back, you know, I always saw her as like just this sort of mysterious, beautiful character. Eowyn. And you know, she was very powerful, but yeah, I mean, I think it all depends. An actor or actress sometimes can only polish a turd so much. You get what I'm saying? You know, if a movie doesn't have the right rigmarole, sometimes they can only do so much with it. It takes all the good acting in the world to, you know, do anything with cars, only some of its parts, so to speak.
Yeah. I always found it interesting how, at least on the TVs, for the theatrical releases of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, you see Arwen. Arwen is on each of these.
Arwen, yeah.
She's one of the faces on each of these movies. I'm like, yeah, that's. I mean, you know, I thought it was interesting. I'm like, yeah, okay. And she is important. She's part of a motivation for a character and another character, Aragorn. But I'm like, that's really interesting. So let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Oh no, continue. Please continue, sir. I'd want to hear.
So in your last stream, I walked in, right?
I
walked in on you singing. I was like,
oh yeah, I did.
Dude, man. I walked in on the right kind of stream. So, like, I was going to ask if it wasn't too imposing. If we could sing.
Okay. What do you want?
I don't know. What do they want us to say?
I don't know. We got a couple good people in the chat. You know, if you got a request, you know, anything you'd like to hear, anything you put something down there in the chat. We'll either me or Jay or maybe the both of us, if we know the song, and yeah, we'll sing a bit of a tune before we go into the last little hot topic. Not hot topic, but topic that I want to talk about.
We're going to hot topic?
So, more singing, yes.
What did he say?
Not hot topic, but he said more singing. He said he also New York. New York. Huh. I don't know that. You know, you need unique New York.
Looking it up right now. I can't remember the old word.
Okay. Let me see this. I'm seeing
Frank
the song Frank Sinatra. Oh.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I'm gonna be a part of it. New York, New York. How's that?
That sounds nice. Yeah. Let me see here. I am starting to have some issues, saying my connection is unstable. So we might have a bit of it here, folks. Just be patient with the internet gods for a moment here. But yeah, let's continue. Yeah, Boone said you nailed it. You nailed it. Let me see.
Ah, there it is. Yeah, I see it now. Thanks. I don't know that song. Do you know Nailed It?
Nailed. Time Prophet gives you a hand. He's giving you a hand.
Boy, ain't that a kick in the head. No, in his words, it was more of a slap in the face. All those hands up. Can't reach that face. Oh, you know what we gotta do is get one of those random wheel things. Oh, what do they call those? I wish I could remember what those are called.
A number wheel.
You know where you go on the internet? Huh? What? What?
My connection is unstable, so a lot of cutting out is happening on my end.
Okay.
I'm only able to hear a few things you're saying, which is unfortunate because we've been having a fun time here.
You know those randomizing things on the internet? You click it and it rolls or whatever, and it tells you whatever to do. It's too bad we don't have one. I don't know how to find one.
Well, I'm starting to go in and out here. My reception isn't quite going well. We'll talk about Godzilla vs. Kong another time. We'll just kind of focus on singing and stuff like that. But let's see.
Have you ever had their burgers?
Mongo?
Godzilla vs. Kong? What burgers?
You know, In-N-Out burgers.
Oh, yeah. That's
Purple Rain in the style of James T. Kirk. All right, I'll try. I just need to get the lyrics real quick. Okay, let's see. I don't know it all that well, just a little bit. And I'll just do the main part of it. Purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. There you go. That's the only part I know. I'd have to listen to the song again. It's been a while since I've heard the song. Otherwise, I'd do a little portion of it. James T. Kirk. Oh gosh, that was
Yeah.
genius. In the style of James T. Kirk. Dude, 1 second. Okay. Gotta open that. That's not it. Oh, yeah. She packed my bags last night. Pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm going to be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's going to be a long, long time. Touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm a rocket man. There you go. There's a
well done. Well done. Time Prophet here saying, actually, Shatner got that style from Shakespeare. He was in a Shakespeare play before doing Star Trek, and he couldn't remember his lines, so he paused, but it caused dramatic effect. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah. And I always tell that to people who kind of make fun a little bit of that is he came from a Shakespearean background. He came from stage and stuff. And I like it. Yeah, I think it worked for the captain at the time. I think Shatner really is.
Yeah, I can't say I've never really watched Star Trek, but that's interesting to know. Interesting to hear. What was that?
I said gasp.
Oh, I was like, I thought they said yes. I'm like, yeah. Like, yes, that is interesting. Yes.
Patrick Stewart came from stage. In fact, you look at half the cast of the different Star Trek shows, a lot of them come from stage background. Yeah. How about you, Mongo?
For what?
Any requests?
Oh no, I'm pretty good. I mean, basically, yeah, connection is really getting unstable here, which is a bummer. It hasn't been happening a lot. It just started acting up now in these last 10, 20 minutes. It's like, oh, goodness.
Remember
oh yeah.
Remember your last event, I had asked you to sing the Muppet Show theme. You said you never
I've never seen the Muppet Show. I have not looked it up since then either.
Wow.
I'm not familiar with that, yeah.
So it goes. It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet Show tonight. Boom, boom, boom. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to raise the curtain on the Muppet Show tonight. Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's like a kind of torture to have to watch the show. And there you go. Oh, no, now you got to do this. And now let's get things started. Why don't you get things started? And now it's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, muppetational. This is what they call the Muppet Show. A bit pitchy there. Let me get some water.
That was great.
That was bad. Beaker. Should do the Manamana song. Can't believe I did that on a live stream.
Well, I think we'll probably start closing it down here. My connection is not doing so hot. Not doing so hot.
I told you not to light it on fire, Mongo.
Yeah.
Those lines are not made for flames.
Well, you know, hopefully
behind your desk.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to connect together soon, so that we can, you know, hopefully, you know, we can kind of talk a little bit about Godzilla and King Kong, you know, someday, not today, just due to the whole connection thing. But this time, probably he's got lots of requests. Let's see here. Got Laughing from Bone. Time Prophet says Stairway to Heaven in the style of Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns.
You can do it, John.
All right. So you're probably gonna be in shock. Yes, I did watch Simpsons, but is Mr. Burns the rich guy that talks like this?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So Stairway to Heaven. I'll try. All right. Okay. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stars are closed, with a word, she could get what she came for. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. Does that work?
Very nice. Very nice. Let's see here. Oh, Bone says you should sing together I Got You, Babe by Sonny and Cher.
Do you know it?
I do not know that one.
Oh, man. It's such a classic.
So, you know, we're going to start closing this out. Jay, if you'd like to talk about anything or anything, you know, just you can say it right now. And then I have a little song that would like to close out on, seeing as how Valentine's Day is coming up. It's coming up this weekend. But the floor is yours, Mr. J. And yeah, tell us a little bit if there's anything you want to say, anything you want to specifically plug. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely keep your eyes peeled for Alika Hard Knocks. And, I got a few things that I'm trying to get pushed out there. A Little Red was a dark Little Red Riding Hood tale. But yeah, just keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled and ears open for anything new coming from Jay Works Productions on my YouTube page. Check out my Eccent art page, ECCENTART. That's ECCENTART on Facebook, and you can find me on Twitter. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Fantastic. So, here's a little song. You can find it on my YouTube channel. I sang it a couple years, at least a year or two ago. But this is a song from the Stylistics. It's called "I'm Stone in Love with You." Now, I'll only sing the first verse here. Well, yeah, we'll see where it goes. I'll start singing and we'll see where I end up. But, this is for all the couples, all the singles, and everybody else in between. But this is Stone in Love with You by the Stylistics. If I could, I'd like to be a great big movie star. Overnight sensation. Drive a big expensive car. I would buy you everything your little heart desires. These things I do 'cause I'm so in love with you. All right. Second verse here. If I were a businessman, I'd sit behind the desk. I'd be so successful, I would scare Wall Street to death. I would hold a meeting for the press to let them know I did it all 'cause I'm stone in love with you. I'm just a man, an average man, doing all the things the best I can. But if I could, I'd give the world to you. I'd like to one day be the owner of the first house on the moon. There would be no neighbors and no population blues. Now you may say that all I do is dream my life away. I guess it's true, 'cause I'm stone in love with you. I guess it's true, 'cause I'm stone in love with you. All right.
Beautiful. That was so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, I really do love that song. I love the little bit there where it says, I'm just a man, an average man, doing all the things the best I can. That's something that I really take to heart. That's something that I really try
When you
to emulate in my everyday life. What was that?
You know, when you sang that part, I was like, oh, so that's where he got it from.
Yep. There's a couple phrases that I really love. I love that phrase. There's another phrase from Burt Gummer from the Tremors. I think it was Tremors 2. He has this rifle.
Burt
He shoots
Gummer.
this graboid. And the guys are like, whoa, you smoked his ass, Burt. Burt says he takes off his glasses or he does something. And he's like, he looks at him. He says, just doing what I can with what I got. But yeah.
I remember that too.
Dude.
Tremors is a great
USA.
movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, totally good. I love that too. Born in the USA. Born in the USA. I was
I gotta get up in there.
born in the USA.
Born in the USA. I was born in the USA.
Oh, there's this one song I really enjoy, country song. Let me see here. Let me look it up, make sure that I got the title right. Let's see. By Toby Keith, Beer for My Horses. I love that song so much.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I love the chorus. 'Cause justice is the one thing you can always find. You gotta saddle up your horse. You gotta draw a hard line. When the gun smoke sinners will sing a victory tune. And we'll all meet back at the local saloon. We'll raise up our glasses again. Horses singing. Whiskey for my Mary, beer for my horses. Just a great song right there. But anyhow, folks, we're going to close it out here. Yes, that is the problem with singing together. There is a delay.
Oh, gosh.
But anyhow, folks, this has been a little stream here. It's been a lot of fun talking with Jay, and then, of course, talking with all you guys. Shout outs to everybody who came through, the Time Prophet, Bone. Let me see here. We had Soul Assassin. We had Storyman Jack. We had Jeremy 5, Russia Approved. We had Apollo Patriot. Oh, yeah, the Monster Hunter movie. Gotta watch the trailer for that. But anyhow, let's see. You got the Rookie Critic. We had a lot of people pass through here. Fanzine Vids. A lot of great people came through.
You guys are awesome.
Yes, big thanks to all you guys. DuckTales, woo!
Woo! They made them DuckTales, woo!
Shout out to the Time Prophet for sticking with us. It's 2:15 in the morning for him. I hope you have a good rest of your day, man. Hope you continue.
Let me say one thing real quick. You know what they say about streams? That's what happens when you play in fountains.
Mm-hmm.
It is 9:14 p.m. by the way.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's 6:14 for me right now. I am ready. I'm ready to eat some food. I had some snacks beforehand, but you know how it is. Big thanks to Jay again. Jay, Noel, thank you very much for all the things you guys do, all the creativity that you do, and all the lessons and teachings that you give to your children.
Well, you're welcome.
Yes, it's a pleasure interacting with you guys, and big shout outs to each of you guys and to all of your kids, all your children. Let's see.
You're welcome, and thank you, Mongo. It's been a real pleasure being on your show again.
And all right, folks, with that, we're going to end the stream. Thanks again for passing through, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.